All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're tackling a really massive shift happening across the business world right now. We so often hear about AI strictly in terms of coding or software or IT infrastructure. But today, we're exploring how integrating AI isn't just an IT issue at all. It's actually a fundamental organizational design challenge. We're going way beyond the chatbot here to understand a completely vital new role, the AI governance advisor.
What AI tools should we use? I mean, it's literally the very first question organizations ask when they jump into the AI revolution. And hey, it sounds logical, right? But as we're going to see today, based on our source material, it is entirely the wrong question to ask. It focuses purely on the tech side of things and just completely misses the human element.
Because the real paradigm shift here, it isn't about the tool itself, but the human hierarchy built around it. Instead of asking which shiny new tool to buy, we really need to ask, when AI advises, or organizes, or even executes, who is actually in charge? Who gets to make that final call? How do junior employees even learn the ropes if the machine is doing all the routine work? And honestly, most importantly, who takes responsibility when things inevitably go wrong? This actually deeply aligns with the organizational design principles you'll often read about on Willem Scheepers' WordPress blog. True transformation happens at the human capital level, not just the IT level. AI is basically the ultimate catalyst for redesigning how humans work together.
So to solve this massive organizational puzzle, here's the blueprint we'll be following today. We're starting with the threat of human hollowing, moving through the frameworks, looking at the new governance role, and finally getting into the tactical execution and growth paths.
Okay, Section 1, the threat of human hollowing.
So, the crucial point here is this concept of human hollowing. Think about how professionals actually become experts in the real world. They learn by doing the grunt work, right? Routine tasks, making small mistakes, developing a real gut feeling for the job. Picture a junior accountant who suddenly can't spot subtle errors anymore simply because the AI has been doing all the initial math for them. By relying too heavily on AI for routine tasks, we're inadvertently stripping away that critical practice space. Sure, the organization might gain incredible speed in the short term, but it loses the exact environment humans need to develop true professional judgment.
And this dynamic creates what the source material calls the AI Barbell framework. Imagine a literal barbell where all the weight is shoved to the extreme ends. Right in the middle, routine knowledge work just gets massively compressed and automated by AI. And that pushes all the remaining value to the two extremes. You either have total invisible automation on one side, or you have deep, irreplaceable human judgment, empathy, and accountability on the other. Because human oversight becomes so incredibly scarce, it simultaneously becomes wildly valuable. Moving right along to Section 2, the Human Capital Framework. Let's talk about the shields designed to actually protect that human element. Enter the Human Capital Allocation Framework, or HCAF for short. This provides a really robust design answer to that AI barbell we just talked about. It basically shifts the conversation completely away from your traditional job descriptions. Instead, it forces management to consciously allocate tasks between the human worker, the AI copilot, and the autonomous AI agent. It makes you clearly define who makes the final decisions, where professional discretion lives, and crucially, how we protect that necessary space for human learning. It's all about clarifying ultimate accountability in these new hybrid human-machine teams. Which brings us to the algorithmic psychological safety climate, or ASPC. Say you've got an intern, or even a mid-level employee, getting a recommendation from a supposedly super smart AI. They might feel completely intimidated to disagree with it. The ASPC is a cultural shield, ensuring employees actually feel safe and empowered enough to challenge those outputs, to report errors without fear, appeal automated decisions, and hold the whole system accountable, because without that psychological safety, human oversight is just a total illusion.
All right, Section 3, the new governance role.
To manage all these complex frameworks, organizations desperately need a champion. Enter the AI governance advisor. And I want to be really clear here. This is not just some dry, tick-the-box legal or compliance role tacked onto the IT department. Not at all. The AI governance advisor is a dynamic, strategic bridge. They connect the raw technology with organization design, the human capital strategies championed on Willem Scheepers' blog, directly to the executive board. They ensure AI is deployed in a way that's lawful, explainable, and above all else, human-centric. Now, to actually pull this off, the advisor needs a seriously diverse hybrid toolkit. They need the legal chops to navigate things like the EU AI Act and GDPR. They need the technical literacy to spot AI hallucinations and bias, and of course, the human ethics background to prevent that hollowing effect. Finally, they've got to be absolute masters of communication and change management, translating incredibly complex legal and technical demands into clear directions for both the developers and the board.
Okay, Section 4, 7 essential responsibilities. Let's look at what this actually looks like on the ground.
So here are the 7 core responsibilities. What's really fantastic about this is seeing how high-level strategic goals turn into super concrete results. For example, the responsibility to take inventory translates directly into a central AI and algorithm register. Assessing impact means actually delivering privacy and human rights impact assessments. They design concrete safeguards, like human fallback protocols, and actively equip the organization through AI literacy programs. They are literally the ultimate safeguard against reckless AI deployment.
Which brings us to Section 5, 5 decision gates.
You can't just deploy an AI and forget about it, right? To maintain control, the advisor implements a strict 5-gate decision process. Gate 1 starts out pretty simple. What's the goal here, and who owns it? Gate 2 gets serious with legal and ethical impacts. By Gate 3, you're designing the actual safety breaks, like data logging and human override protocols. Gate 4 is that critical go-no-go validation. Are our people actually trained to use this thing? And Gate 5, well, that one never sleeps. It is continuous monitoring for bias, drift, and unexpected effects all the way until the tool is eventually phased out.
Now, the sheer volume of legal frameworks this advisor has to navigate is honestly a dense, complex web. They are balancing the new EU AI Act, strict data privacy under GDPR, human rights charters to ensure non-discrimination, strict cybersecurity laws, plus localized tools like the Dutch human rights assessments for algorithms. Oh, and they also have to keep up with ISO standards for AI management. The complexity here is staggering, and it's a great reminder of why this role is so highly specialized. You simply cannot leave this stuff to chance.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 6, professional growth path.
So how do you actually become a senior advisor? It's structured and it's fast. You spend your first 90 days building a regulatory foundation, getting up to speed on the AI Act and data privacy. Before a year is even up, you're a practitioner, managing real pilots and delivering clear risk assessments. Within a year and a half, you're managing organization-wide policies and literacy programs. And by year 3, you are advising the executive board and designing the entire operating model. Now, depending on your background, say you already have deep experience in HR or compliance, you might skip that first phase entirely and just jump right into the action.
So, here is the crucial thought I want to leave you with in this explainer. AI undeniably changes the organization. We know that. It compresses routine work and accelerates output. But it is human capital governance, championed by this new AI governance advisor, that actually determines where the human remains. It determines if we keep our practice space, our professional judgment, and our psychological safety. So, as AI reshapes absolutely everything about how we work, the ultimate question is, will you step up to ensure the human element is protected and empowered? Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep asking those hard questions.